A very good morning, students. Welcome back to online course on structured query language. In our previous session, which was last week, we discussed like how we can apply different mathematical functions on columns inside your SQL table. So finding the sum of a particular table, finding the average, finding maximum, minimum, and how we can make the values, how we can retrieve the unique values from the column entries. All these things we have seen in our previous session. Practically, I have shown you how you can do all those things on a SQL table, okay, on a relation. In today's session, we'll be focusing more on SQL constraints. So first of all, what are these constraints? In the sense, they are rules, they are conditions enforced on SQL columns. Okay, you'll be having SQL column or SQL table. So inside a SQL table or on a SQL column, how you can enforce a particular rule, in the sense with the help of these SQL constraints, you can achieve that one. So let us assume you are creating a SQL table. Over there, you want all customers to be more than 18 years. So simply what you can do, you can enforce a condition on a particular, so this is not something retrieval. This is something at the time of data entry only we are enforcing the conditions. So basically what will happen, whenever you try to enter some customer details whose age is below 18 years, then automatically what will happen, your table will not accept that entry. Your table will not accept that record as an entry into it. Okay, so to achieve this thing, we are going for this SQL constraint. So quickly read these statements over here. Constraints are the rules enforced on the data column of a table. So on a particular data column, you can enforce this constraint, or on the complete table also you can enforce these constraints. So constraints are nothing but they are the rules enforced on data column of a table, on a data column of a table. These are used to limit the type of data that can go into a table. So basically, in order to avoid or in order to limit the data entry into a particular table, we use these constraints. These ensures, basically why we use these constraints, in the sense to ensure the accuracy and reliability of the data. Whatever data you are entering into the data table, so basically to enforce the accuracy or to enforce the reliability, we are using constraints. Constraints could be either on column level or on table level. So we can, as I said, we can have both on a column as well as on a table level. We can have the constraint. So on a single column we can apply the constraint, or on the complete table we can apply the constraints. The column level constraints apply to only one column, whereas the table level constraints, they can be applied on the complete table, on the whole table, we can say. Okay, so column level constraints we are applying only to a particular column, only to one column. But whereas table level constraints, what we are doing, we are applying to the whole table. Remember this one as well. Constraints are nothing but rules which are enforced. So in today's session, basically we are focusing only on these SQL constraints. So you need to understand what are these constraints. So this particular wording will give the meaning of what is constraint. Constraints, in the sense, rules enforced. Those rules you can enforce on a particular column or on the complete table as well. Okay, so to limit the data, or to limit the data, basically we are using these constraints, and using the constraints we are achieving accuracy as well as the reliability of the data. Accuracy as well as the reliability of the data. And I have given one simple example as well. Just when you are creating a customer table, or just when you are creating a particular table in the database, and you want all the customers to be more than 18 years, so simply you can enforce a condition over there, a constraint over there on the age of the customer, so that whenever you try to input the age below 18 years, it will give an error over there. So quickly we discuss how many different types of constraints we have, in the sense the following, I mean, whatever listing I'm giving over here, they are the most commonly used constraints. It doesn't mean that we have only this much, we have many, but the most commonly used constraints we are discussing over here. Following are some of the most commonly used constraints available in structured query language. The first one is not null constraint. As the name suggests, when you use this not null constraint on a particular field, on a particular column, then what will happen? You cannot give that particular field entry as null. Okay, previously we have seen when we have created our employee table, you can make many of the columns, I mean many of the fields as empty. Okay, simply you cannot give any entry over there. But if you make a particular field as not null, you must and should have to give the entry for that one. Okay, so you read this not null constraint ensures that a column cannot have null values. So to avoid null values, what we are doing, we are going for not null constraint. Okay, then we have default constraint. Default constraint, what it will do, it will provide a default value for a column when none is specified. If you want to give a default value for a particular column, like in salaries, basically in salaries, what we are giving, we are inputting, we are entering the salary details of customers. Okay, like suppose if you are not giving any salary to a particular customer, if you want to make that salary, if you don't want to make that salary entry, then by default you can assign some value over there. Or age, let us assume, if you're not doing the age entry, by default you can assign some age value over there. So automatically what it will do, it will assign the default value whatever you will give. So default constraint will assign the default value whatever we specify at the time of creation of this default constraint. Then unique constraint, it will avoid the redundant entries. So if you want all your salaries to be unique, or all your ages to be unique, or all your customer names to be unique, simply use this unique constraint on it. So unique constraint, what it will do, it will ensures all the values unique, all the values to be different. Okay, so the not null constraint, it will avoid the null value entry. Default constraint, it will give a default value for a column. Okay, if you are not specifying any specific value over there, it will consider the default value over there. Then unique constraint, what it will do, it will ensures all values to be unique. Then primary key constraint uniquely identifies each row or record in a database. So primary key, it is more to discuss. We need to discuss more about this primary key. When it comes, we will discuss. Then foreign key, we are going to have the relation between the tables. Okay, this foreign key also uniquely identifies a row or a record in any of the given database table. But there is more to discuss about this foreign key as well. When it comes, we will have a brief discussion on this primary key and foreign key as well. Then check constraints. The check constraint ensures that all the values in a column must satisfy a particular condition. Again, here also the same thing. What I said, as I said, if you want a particular column entry to be more than 18 years, or a particular employee to have so and so salary, more than so and so salary, that you can impose such condition with the help of this check constraint. And this index constraint, it is a unique way of retrieving the data in a faster manner. The index is used to retrieve data from the database very quickly in a faster manner. Okay, constraints can be specified when a table is created. So at the time of creation of the table, there only you can specify the constraint, or you can even specify the constraint using the alt table command. So if the table is already existing and you want to specify this, if you want to add the constraint to the existing table, then use the alt table command. Okay, so two ways: using create table. At the time of creating a table, you can add the constraint to different columns, or after the table is created, using alt table command also, you can add the constraints to an existing table. Remember these two ways. The first way, using create table, you can add the constraint. at the time of creation of the table itself, you can add the constraint. So this is the first way. And the second way, after when the table is created, I mean, if the table is already existing, using the alt table command, you can add the constraint to an existing table. So these two are the ways through which we can add the constraint, conditions, rules to our tables. So quickly we need to discuss one by one. So the first constraint type is not null constraint. So by default, a column can hold null values. If you don't make a particular column as not null, so what it will take? It will take even null values as well. You can make that column entries as null. Okay, you cannot give, I mean, simply you cannot give the column entries over there. So by default, what it will do, it will make that entry as null. Null means no value. Okay, unknown data we can say. Okay, if we do not want a column to have null values, if you don't want a particular column to have null values, that means it should always have some data entries over there. Then go for not null constraint. Simply make that particular column as not null. Okay, simply make that particular, see, let us assume the employee name or customer name. When you are creating a table, let us assume the customer name, it is a mandatory thing, isn't it? And or the contact details, let us assume the contact details, the mobile number, it should be a mandatory thing. So for some particular field, as a mandatory thing, if you want to make, just go for this not null. Not null in the sense you cannot make that entry, that column entry as null. You have to have, you have to specify some value over there. You have to have some value over there. Okay, so simply you cannot make that column entry as null. So for example, yeah, let us we are creating a table. So at the time of creation of the table itself, what I am doing, I am making few of my columns in that particular table, few of my columns as not null, as not null. So just see over here, we are creating a new table with name customers. What the table name is, in the sense customers is my table name. And in that I'm having five columns. Five columns. What are they? Customer ID. CID stands for customer ID. Then CNAME stands for customer name. CH stands for customer age, customer address, customer salary. Likewise, I am creating five fields, five columns in my table. The first column data type is int. First column data type is integer, means a numerical value. And I don't want that CID to be null. So what I am doing, I am making it as not null. Then CNAME. Okay, it is a varchar, variable character, and it should be not null. So second field also I am making it as not null. That means you need to give, when you are inserting a particular record into the table, you need to give the values for CID as well as CNAME, and one more, CAge also I am making it as not null, and it is an integer value. So this CAge also I don't want to be null. Okay, I need to give the age of the customer also when I am creating the record. Then address, it can be null, because as I said, as I not mentioned not null over here, so it can be null. And salary also, it can be null. And over here, address character type I have taken, and salary decimal in the sense in precisions it can go. So 18, out of which 2 for the decimal points. So what it will do, 18 comma 2 we are taking, right? So 18 comma 2 means total 18 digits, total 18 digits. In that, the last 2 will be for the precisions. The last 2 will be for the precision. So 16 for storing the actual number, dot 2 for storing the decimal points, 2 for decimal points, 2 digits for decimal points, and 16 digits for actual number, like that. 18 comma 2 in the sense 2 digits for fractional parts, and 16 digits for storing the actual number. Like that you can give your customer salary. So quickly we create this table into our database, and we see how it will respond. Okay, so what I am doing, so I need to connect to the database. So that I am doing, connect the customer name, the username here, ISL CSC 001, and the password same thing, ISL CSC 001. Hit the enter key. Now we are connected. So I'm simply selecting the tables. Select star from tab. It will list only one table. So now I am creating another table, that is customer table. So here I'm going in this way. So create table. Table name is customers. Table name is customers of. Okay. Yeah, you can, as I said, you can give the multi-line entry as well. Multi-line entry as well. Customer of CID. Okay, CID int, integer, that is numerical value only. It is same like your number, but there is a difference between integer and number. There is a difference. As we have not discussed the data types, for now you remember integer means numerical values only. Okay, and I want this CID field as not null. Okay, not null. So then CNAME. So I think it is better to have the single line only, single, because so that we can, if there is any mistake, we can easily edit it. Okay, so create table customer of customers of CID. Okay, int not null, I'm saying. Okay, so I have imposed the what we call not null constraint over here on CID. So that means you need to give entry for CID. Then CNAME varchar of varchar2 of like 20 up to 20 characters. Okay, and it should be not null. It should also be not null. Then uh, enter ch of, again integer, right? Yes, integer, and it also be not null. It should be not null. Then we are going for c address varchar 2 of how many, yeah, we have taken character. So character, it is same like your varchar, but there is a difference. Similar to your varchar, we can say character of 25. Hopefully in our next session we'll discuss the data types. Okay, comma, then C salary, customer salary, I'm making it as decimal. Okay, I'm making it as decimal of 18 comma 2. What I said, out of 18 digits, 2 digits for precisions and 16 digits for storing the actual value. So here when I'm creating this customers table, yeah, CID must be not null. CID column must be not null. CNAME column must also be not null. Okay, must also be not null. CAGE column must also be not null. But whereas C address, it can be null, and C salary, it can also be null. Okay, simply hit the enter key. See, table created. So now table got created. Simply go and select star from tab. Yeah, it is listing the second table as well. So check the description about that customers table. Description, customers, see over here, 3 columns, CID, CNAME, CH, they should be not null. So when you do the insert, when you perform the insert into table name, let us say table name, that is what is the table name? Customers, customers, customers of, let us say I'm inserting CID comma, I'm not inserting CID, we'll see what error we will get. So first I'm inserting only C address comma C salary, I'm inserting. Okay, values of, let us say C address, I'm making it as Hyderabad. Okay, then C salary, some 27,000 I'm entering, 27,000. So when you hit the enter key, you will get error. See, cannot insert null, because we are trying to insert null, because we are entering only C address and C salary. Other fields, what we are doing, like CID, CNAME, CH, what we are doing, we are making them as null. We are making them as null. So it is not allowing us. So cannot insert null inside this database. See ISL CSE001 in that customers table and in that CID field. CID field you cannot make it as null. So let us just make it as a valid entry. Okay, we'll give a valid entry for CID. So here also inside values give the valid entry, like 1001 is the customer ID. Now hit the entry. See, again we got error over here. Cannot insert null into CNAME. Previously we got for CID, that correction we have done here. We entered the CID. Now it is asking to give CNAME because CNAME also not null. So do that entry as well. CNAME entry as well. So here CNAME, comma, okay, CNAME also we are doing the entry. So here you come and enter the name. Enter the name like Albert. Albert, give one comma and hit the enter key. Now see one more, cannot insert null into CH because CH also, as you can see, it is not null. CH also it is not null. So what I will do now, again I will go and I will do the edit over here. So after CNAME I am also entering CH. Okay, CH. So now enter the age, that is 29 years. 29 years. Okay, now hit the enter key. Now one row created. It has created one row successfully. Now you simply select that record from the table. Select star from customers. Customers. See, you can clearly see that it has created one record. Customer ID is 1001, name is Albert, age is 29, address is Hyderabad, and salary is 27,000. Like this, it has created. So basically, what it is doing, it is not accepting null values for the first three fields, first three columns: CID, CNAME, CH. You cannot give null values over there. One more entry will do. Okay, here one more entry we are doing by removing whether it will accept address and salary details as null values or not. That we will check. Okay, so sorry, once again here you go and simply remove that salary, C salary, and C address. Okay, so here you come and make the correction over here 1002 and make the name as Robert. Okay, then give the age like 47 years and remove these two, the last entries, remove these two. So simply what we are doing, we are making your C address and C salary as null values in this second entry. Okay, hit the enter key. It is accepting. So only the first three, they must be not null, but the last two you can even insert null values over there. Now once again go and check what entries it has done. Customers, what entries it has done over there, in the sense simply it has entered null values. It has entered null values. So in this way you can create the table and you can impose the not null constraint on the table columns. Okay, you have to remember this one. This is one of the important constraint, not null constraint. So if the table is already created, let us assume now the table, I mean at the time of creation of table, how you can impose the not null constraint, that we have seen. Now as the table is already created, customers table is already created, and I want the C address to be not null. I want the C address to be not null, or salary to be not null. Let us say salary to be not null. So how I can impose that one? How I can impose, in the sense, just go with the alter table command. Alter table customers, modify salary, C salary, modify C salary, and the same, I mean the same data type, and I mean even if you want to change, you can change. Okay, even if you want to change, previously it was decimal, so I want to make it as decimal only. Even if you want to change, you can change by using the alter table command. Okay, so alter table customers, modify C salary, decimal of 18 comma 2, not null. Previously it is null. Okay, as it is accepting null values, you can see over here the salary details are null. So now what I am doing, I want to impose, okay, I want a description about customers. Okay, I want to impose not null on salary as well. Let us assume I want to impose not null on salary as well. So how we can do? So again, alter table, table name customers, modify column name. What is the what column? C salary. I want to modify C salary to give the decimal of 18 comma 2, 18 comma 2, not null, like this. Just now what will happen, your salary, C salary column will also become not null. Simply see that one. Okay, it is giving some error, null values found. Yes, over here, as your C as your column. Okay, as your column, it is already having null value. That's the reason why the not null constraint it is not accepting. As the C salary, it is already having some null value. That's the reason it is not imposing the what we call not null constraint on C salary. So simply what you do, roll back, because we have not committed anything. Simply do roll back. Now select star from customers. So now it is empty. Yeah, it is. I think that alter we have typed over here. So that's the reason it got committed automatically. It got committed automatically. So what we have to do, remove that one. How we can delete uh, star, all the details. Delete star from table name. Customers. Okay, customers where CID equals to 1002. Okay, so this will delete that record. Okay, uh, okay, delete star, invalid table name, delete star from customers. Customers table is not there. Invalid table name it is. Delete from customers. Okay, delete from customers where CID equals to 1002. Okay, one row deleted. That star we should not put over there. Okay, because anyhow we are deleting the complete record, so that star we should not put. So delete from customers where CID equals to 1002. Now it has deleted that one. Okay, select star from customers. Like this you check. Yeah, it got deleted. Now you try to impose that constraint. This is alter table customers modify C salary decimal 18 comma 2 not null. See, it has imposed that not null constraint. So description on customers. See, the C salary is also not null now. The C salary is also not null now. So when you try to input the one second record over here, now you cannot make the C salary as empty. You must have to give some entry. You must have to make some entry for C salary as well. So in this is how you can impose the not null constraint. Okay, when you are creating the table and after creating the table, after once the table is created, using the alter table command also you can impose the not null constraint. But make sure all the column fields they must have some entry over there, then only you can impose the not null constraint. Even if one entry is null, you simply can't enforce the not null constraint on that particular column. Hopefully you understood how the database is behaving, what type of errors it is giving. Everything I have shown to you. Okay, so clearly this concept is clear for us now. So imposing not null constraint on a particular column. So if it is not null, when you are doing the record entry, customer detail entry, that field you cannot make it as null. Definitely you have to give some value over there. It is like a mandatory field. It is like a mandatory field. The field not null field, it is like a mandatory field. And imposing that not null constraint two ways. One, with the help of create table command. At the time of creation of table, simply you can make a particular field as not null. After specifying the type, use not null keyword. That's it. Or if the table is created and you want to impose the not null constraint on a particular column, just make sure that column it is having all the entries and impose the not null constraint on it using the alter table command. Alter table customers modify C salary decimal 18 comma 2 not null. Okay, with one null entry we tried, but the database has given the error. Then what we have done, simply we have removed that record and we have imposed the not null constraint. Hopefully you understood that one. So the next thing, as I said, the imposing of default constraint. Imposing of default constraint. So default constraint, what I said, it will have some default values. It will have some default values when you do the insertion. Okay, if you don't do the insertion using insert into command, then automatically it will take the default value. That default value at the time of creation of the table only you can specify. That default value at the time of creation of the table you can specify. So again what I will do is I will drop my table, drop customers, because once again I want to create the table and drop table. Okay, drop table, table name customers. Okay, customers not exist. Table or view does not exist. Okay, there is some mistake. Okay, CUSS I forgot. Drop table customers. Okay, it got dropped. The table got dropped. Hopefully you understood. The table got dropped. Now quickly you see, select star from tab. It will not list that table over here. So now what we have to do? Yeah, our intention, we want to impose that default constraint so that the field, the column will have some default value when you are doing the entry. So for that, to understand what we can do, yeah, create the table, create table, once again customers. It will just give some practice to you. That's the reason why I'm creating again and again. CID int, and we said it should be not null. Okay, then for what column we are having the default value, in the sense for salary column. As you can see, for salary column we are having some default value. Okay, like 5000 as the default value I am having for salary column. So whenever I am doing the record entry, if I don't specify salary details, so by default it will take the salary details as 5000. Okay, by default it will take the salary details as 5000. So that to see, yeah, create table customers, CID int not null, CNAME varchar 20, CNAME varchar of 20, and this should also be not null. Okay, then ch int not null, ch int not null. Okay, then the fourth one, c address character 25, it can be null, c address. Okay, character 25, and we are not making the not null constraint imposition over here. So then finally the c salary decimal, c salary, okay, decimal of 18 comma 2, 18 comma 2, and we said for this c salary we need to have some default constraint value, default 5000, and give the decimal points as well. Okay, so like this, c salary is the last one, right? Okay, so like this you create, like this you create the table. So here by default, if you don't do the entry for the salary column, what it will take 5000. Okay, table created. So just go description about customers. The default constraint it will not list, not null it will list in the description, but default it will not list. As you can see, we have imposed default constraint on salary column, but it is not giving any constraint option over here, any constraint option over here. Only for not null it is showing over here, but default it is not showing. Just check that one. So what I will do now, insert into table name. What is table name? My table name is customers. Okay, insert into customers of, input the mandatory fields, that is not null fields, ci, cname, cid, cname, ch. Three things I am entering. I'm not entering the fourth one and fifth one because they are not mandatory. Okay, so values of c address, sorry, cid I'm making 1001, cname again Albert. Okay, then c age some 32 years. So rest of the things I'm trying to make them as null. I'm not giving any entries over there. In short, I'm not giving any entries over there. Hit the enter key, one row created. As you can see, one row got created. Now go and see what entries you have into the table from table customers, from table customers. See over here, 1001 manually we have entered, Albert name I have entered, 32 age I have entered, address field is empty because we have not given any entry, but salary field, when you are seeing, even though I have not done the entry, because we have applied the default constraint, it is receiving default value as 5000. It is receiving default value as 5000. Remember this one. Okay, so this is at the time of creation of table, how you can impose the default constraint. After creating the table, okay, the table is handy and you want to impose the what we call constraint, default constraint. At that time, how we can do means, yeah, I want to impose the constraint on address. Okay, a default constraint on address. Simply see that one. So in, yeah, alter, we can use the alter table customers, alter command. Using alter command, we are imposing the default constraint on address column. Okay, alter table, the table name is customers. On what column we are imposing? Modify C address, modify C address, character of 25 data type, and then default value we are giving. Default value what we are giving? We are giving like, let us say, Hyderabad. Okay, like this. Hit the enter key. Table altered. Table altered. So that means if from now on, even if you don't do the entry for C address, by default it will take the value as Hyderabad. Just see that one. I'm imposing, I'm going with insert now. CID, CNAME, CAge only we do. CID I'm making it as 1002. Albert is the yeah, name, just different name you give. Robert I'm giving. Age, let us say I'm giving like 42. Okay, the other two entries like C address and C salary we are not doing. So just hit the enter key. One row created. It is saying one row created. And just see the entries in your table. Select star from customers. Customers. Now you can see we have inputted, we have entered only the ID, name and age. That is 1002, Robert, and 42 only we have entered. This Hyderabad by default it is taking. Default constraint it is taking. And 5000 already at the time of creation of the table only we specified this default. So whatever default values you have specified for the table, only those values it will take. If you skip the entries, and if you don't skip the entries, then you can specify the values also. I mean your own values also. Instead of taking the default values, you can specify your own values also. Like the uh, city name I'm giving YZEC, address I'm giving YZEC, and salary details some 42,000 I'm giving. Let us assume in this way. Salary details I'm taking some 42,000. So now what will happen? Yeah, the customer table, it will accept all these values and it will not take the values from default. It will not take the values for C address and C salary. It will not take the values from default. So one row created. Just go and check. Select star from customer. As you can see over here, 1002 Robert. The name, the age I have not changed. Only these things I have changed. Okay. YZEC and 42,000. It is showing like this. Hopefully you understood. The difference you have to understand how the default constraint is working. That thing you need to understand. Okay, so suppose if you want to remove the default, what we have to do? Same thing. Alter, I'm removing the default now. Alter table customer. Okay, alter table customer, the column name, modify column name. Let us say I want to remove the default from C salary. C salary of C salary of int. Okay, int, not int, it is decimal, right? Decimal of 18 comma 2. Okay, then default to make it as null. Accept null, default to null. So now what will happen? The default whatever value we have given like 5000, that will be removed. Okay, so table or view does not exist. Customers, table name is customers. Okay, now hit the enter key. Table altered. Okay, table altered. So simply go and see, do the entry and don't give this value. Okay, do the entries for only the first three, and don't give these values, and check how it will give the response. Okay, I'm making the ID as 1005 and name as some Vinod. Okay, Vinod, like this. And here insert into customers values. What values we are inputting? Only CID we are inputting, C name we are inputting, and C age we are inputting, and others we are not giving any input. So we are expecting only C address needs to get the default, that is Hyderabad. Okay, and C salary it needs to be null because we have removed the default constraint. We made the default constraint as null now, so it should have null now. So see, one row created. Just go and see. Select star from table customers. See over here, we got null. Okay, no 5000 default we got over here. We got null now. So 1005 is the ID. We know this is the name. 42 is the age. Hyderabad, it is taking from default because we specified only 3. Hyderabad, it is taking from default, and over here the default we removed by simply making it as null. So in this way you can remove the default. Hopefully you understood. Okay, then unique constraint, what this unique constraint will do in the sense, it will prevent two records to have identical values. It will prevent two records to have identical values. Let us say the customer names, you want unique names. Okay, all the customer names unique, all the customer IDs unique. You want all the customer IDs unique. You don't want duplicate IDs, or you don't want duplicate names, or you don't want duplicate ages of the customer. Simply impose this unique constraint on that particular column. Okay, the unique constraint prevents two records from having identical values in a column. In the customers table, to prevent two or more people from having an identical age, unique constraint can be used. If you want all the customers to have a unique age, okay, no two persons can have the same age, we can say, you can simply impose the unique constraint over there. Or no two persons can have the same salary, simply impose the unique constraint on the salary column. Whatever field, whatever column you want unique, no identical values to be inserted, simply maintain that column as unique. Okay, apply that column as column with unique constraint. That's it. It is very easy to understand. So let us say this example, uh, simply creating a new table with unique constraint. Again, I will drop that customer table and I will create a unique table. I will create a table with not null with 5 columns like CID, CNAME, CH, CAddress and CSalary. In that, what I am doing, the first 3 columns I am making them as not null, and CH not null as well as unique. So you have to give the entry for age, as well as you cannot duplicate it. You cannot duplicate it. Simply remember this one. Okay, so same conditions I'm imposing. So first what I have to do, simply drop that customers, drop table customers. Okay, here we have to put table, drop table customers, table got dropped. Okay, now what I am doing, I'm create table customers of CID int not null. Okay, then CNAME varchar 2 of 25, and it should also be not null. Then ch number of 4. Okay, number of 4 not null, as well as I want it to be unique. Okay, unique, UNIQUE, comma, and the fourth column, that is address, C address, that is character of 25. Okay, then finally C salary. Okay, C salary decimal, decimal of 18 comma 2, 18 comma 2, close it. Okay, then close it, put the semicolon at the end. So how many columns I have selected? 5 columns. CID, it should be not null and type is integer. CNAME, it should be not null and the type is varchar 2 of 25. CH, it should be not null as well as unique, and it should be not null as well as unique and the type is number. Okay, and C address, character of 5, it can be null because no constraint I'm imposing over here. I'm not imposing any constraint over here. Then C salary also decimal and 18.2, impose the default constraint. Okay, DEFAULT, default 5000 dot 00. Let us just to have one more constraint to be used in this particular table creation, I'm imposing like this. Okay, hit the enter key, table created. So with all those constraints, table got created now. So when I do the entry into the table, see, initially I will show you as it is not having any entries. Okay, customers, it is not having any entries. Okay, no rows selected, it is showing. So now what I will do, I will insert into that table, insert into customers. What mandatory fields I have to insert? Uh, Only I will insert those mandatory fields. CID, comma, CNAME, because they are not null. CNAME, then CH. I'm inserting only three values of CID 1001, CNAME like Albert, okay, then CH I'm inserting like 32 years. Only these three I'm inserting. So C address it will be null, and C salary it will take from default, so 5000 it will insert over there. Hit the enter key, one row created. Again go and check the entries. See over here, okay, CID, CNAME, CH, address. So it is C salary, it is going, I mean here I have taken more 25, so it is printing in the second column. So again just to have drop table customers, okay, table got dropped. I just want this thing here, varchar 2 of 20 you take, and yes, this you take 15, because it is going in multiple lines and the output is disturbing us, isn't it? So here you take 25 and here you take 15. 10, that's enough. Okay, okay, 10, that's enough. Or you take 13. Okay, so here also the C salary, like, okay, that's not an issue. Like this you take, hit the enter key, table created. So now insert into customer with these values, okay, with these values 32. Hit enter, table got inserted row. Now select that row. See here, 1001 Albert, 32 is age. C address, because we have not given any default value, it is taking null, and C salary, as we have given default value, it is taking 5000. So now I want to create another record, and over there I will try to give the same age 32 for a second person. So you will get error over there. Just see over here. So insert into where is my insert? Yeah, insert into table name customer, CID, CNAME, CH, values 1002 I am giving, person name Albert I am giving, so age 32 I am giving. Just see what error it will give. See here, unique constraint violated. Unique constraint violated. It is giving that error. I mean, what type of unique constraint you have, that you have to remember. And unique constraint we have on age, isn't it? Age we have unique constraint. So simply go and modify that age to 37. Now it will accept, because we are trying to enter a different age now. 32, 37, a different age. So it will accept. Simply hit the enter key, one row created, as you can see. Now you check, select star from customers. Yeah, you can see 32, 37, two addresses are empty, but salaries it is taking from default. So in this way you can impose the you can avoid the duplications. So here, yeah, if the customer table is already existing, to impose the unique constraint, what we can do, yeah, you can impose unique constraint on multiple columns as well, on multiple columns. So let us simply say, yeah, already on CH we have the unique constraint, right? So now what I want to do, I want to impose the unique constraint on CID. How we can alter table, table name is customers. Okay, I want to add the unique constraint on CID. So modify CID int not null unique. That's it. Int not null unique. Add all the constraints, whatever you want to add. Two constraints I'm adding, not null as well as unique. And int is the data type, and CID I want to modify. So in this way you can impose. Hit the enter key. Yeah, it is saying modified to not null is already not null. See, CID it is already not null. So again we tried to not make it as not null. So that's the reason why it is giving this issue. So simply what you do, remove this not null. Because it is already not null, it is not accepting. So simply make it as unique. Hit the enter key, table altered. So now CID is not only not null, but also it is unique. So just try to do the insert with 1002 Albert 37. Okay, 1002 Albert. I mean age, because it is also unique, I'm making it as 42. Okay, name, it is not at all unique, so I'm entering the same name, alter. So now values of 1002 I'm entering. See, unique constraint violation. Even though we have given a different age, again it is showing unique constraint violated. I mean, where we have violated that unique constraint, in the sense 1002, which is already existing into the table, we are trying to give 1002 as an entry for CID. So that's the error. So simply go over here and make it as 1003 so that it will accept. One row created. So now go and check. Select star from table. Select star from customers. You can see all these things. Okay. So now on how many columns we have? On CID we have the unique constraint. On CAge we have the unique constraint. So let us say I want to apply on multiple columns. I want to apply the unique constraint on multiple columns, like CNAME as well as CAddress. On multiple columns, I want to apply the unique constraint. So how come? Same thing. Alter table. Yeah, here you can see alter table customers, then add constraint, add constraint, give some name to it. Constraint, add constraint, Traint constraint, then give some name to it, so like I'm giving my unique. See, giving name, it is helpful when you want to drop that constraint. If you want to drop that constraint, giving the name will be helpful. My unique constraint, okay, my unique constraint. uh, what constraint I want to add? Unique constraint. I want to add unique on two columns. Let us say CAge, CID are already unique. So CNAME, comma, CSalary. We'll just see whether it will give any error or what. See, why it is giving error means because when we try to make this CSalary as unique, because already we have multiples over here, isn't it? Multiples over here, so that's the reason why duplicate key found. Okay, cannot validate duplicate key found. The reason, these things. So simply do the truncate table, name, that is customer. So what it will do? Customers. It will remove all the entries from that table. So as it is uh, default, it is a default constraint, we cannot apply the what we call unique on it, because by default it will take 5000. It will try to enter 5000. So every time it will try to enter 5000, so automatically duplications it will allow. So if you try to apply the unique on it, definitely you will get error. So try to apply unique on CNAME as well as CAddress. So go again imply the same thing. Okay, instead of CSalary, now what I am doing, on CNAME as well as CAddress I am saying. Hit enter. Table altered. So all my fields are unique now. CID, CNAME, CAge, CAddress. 4 fields are unique now. Only CSalary, it can have redundant entries, multiple entries. All my 4, they should be unique. So just to have the difference, insert, go to insert into, I'm entering 1001 Albert 42 and the CAddress, let me just have some entry over here, Hyderabad. Okay, so now hit the enter key. What it is saying? Too many values. Okay, I have to put here CAddress as well. C address. Hit the enter key. One row created. Now select star from table customers. Hit the enter key. It is showing over there. See, 1001 Albert 42 Hyderabad and 5000 by default it has entered. So now I want to do the same entry. Okay, same entry. Hit the enter key. Unique constraint violated. So just change the ID, CID and C. One by one I will change and I will show it to you. 1002 I made. Again unique constraint violated. 1002 again name also it need to be unique. So Robert I am saying. Again unique constraint violated because age let us say 49 years I am saying. Now one row created because those 3 got violated. That's the reason why it has not done the entry but when you did the correction accordingly, it did the entry. Okay, now once again go and check, select star from customer. As you can see, 5000 we can have redundant because it is not unique, but rest of all, like this thing, age, CNAME and CID, they need to be unique. Hopefully you understood. So quickly we go to the next part, that is dropping a unique constraint. Already when we created a unique constraint, I have given a name to it. As you can see over here, I have given a name to it. Where is that? Alt table command. When we executed alt table command, unique constraint, I have given some name. My unique constraint. This my unique constraint. Using this my unique constraint, you can delete the constraint. Okay, you can delete the unique constraint. How come? So simply alter, give the table command, table name customers. Okay, customers, then drop. Okay, constraint, drop constraint, my unique constraint, the name you have to give. Okay, my unique constraint. Okay, simply table altered means the condition whatever you have imposed, it got deleted, it got removed. Okay, so the next thing, primary key, foreign key, and other stuff we will see in tomorrow's session, hopefully. Okay, primary key and foreign key, we have some other topics, because it is already almost more than an hour, I guess. Yes, it is more than an hour. It is up to 56 minutes I'm seeing over here. So the up to unique constraint we discussed. Out of seven constraints, we have discussed four, no, three. In our next class, next session, hopefully we will cover the last four. Thank you very much, students.